Hello students, how are you? Okay, so let's start with today's class 12 biology. In the previous video we have discussed about menstrual cycle and I hope you all have understood that topic. So let's now continue with the topic. Let's talk about menstrual hygiene. So these are some points that you should keep in mind when you are in the menstruation period and what should be done, because menstrual hygiene is very important for us, and what should be the things that you should keep in mind while you are in this period. So let's see here. The first point is take bath and clean yourself regularly, because you know that during menstrual cycle the bathing is very important, very must. So this is for all the girls who are in this period, like if the girls who are living in the village areas or some from that families which are not very much well aware or educated regarding the menstrual hygiene, so they should be keep in mind that they should take bath regularly, especially in those days, to clean yourself properly. Next is because there can be the chance of infection at that time. Okay. Next one is use sanitary napkins or clean homemade pads. So at this time try to go for the sanitary napkins available in the market, or you can also use the homemade pads made which can be made at home, but the cloth that is used for making the pads should be clean. Then next point is change the sanitary napkins every 4 to 5 hours as per the requirement. So during this period, especially in the starting days, so you should change your napkin 4 to 5 after every 4 to 5 hours to make yourself away from the infection, to protect yourself from any kind of infection, or as per requirement. Next, dispose of the used sanitary napkins properly, wrapping it in a used paper. Okay, so the disposal, the usage of napkin is very important, as well as its disposal, because it can it can cause infection in the areas where it is disposed of, the area around where it is disposed of. So that is it should be disposed in a by wrapping in a used paper. Okay, you can use some newspaper or old newspaper, anything, and you can just wrap it in the paper and then dispose of. Don't throw it like that without wrapping it. Next is do not throw the used napkins in the drain pipes of toilets or in the open area. So while disposing of, you should not throw the napkins in the toilets. Don't throw the napkin and then flush it or drain it. You should not throw it in the drainage pipes. It can pollute the water coming to our homes, or it can also block the pipes. Okay. Next is wash your hands properly. So after disposing of, after throwing it, you should wash your hands properly with the soap, and so these are the points that you should keep in mind while you are in this period of menstrual cycle. Now let's start with the next step of reproduction. So let's start with the next topic or next step in fertilization process of reproduction in human. So next step is fertilization. Fertilization, as you know, is the fusion of male and female gamete. So these are the steps which are involved in fertilization process, and I suggest you that you should make notes of this topic, because I have made this topic by collecting collection from 2-3 books. So it's better if you will write these steps, and if the question comes in your board exam, that will be the best answer you can attempt. Now let's see the steps in this. First step is approach or arrival of sperms. So as you know, fertilization is the fusion of male and female gametes. Till the fusion of nuclei of both male and female gametes, we will study the steps one by one. So when first step will be the arrival of sperms. As you know, by intercourse, the sperms are released along with the semen into the female reproductive tract. So an ejaculation will release 3 to 3.5 milliliter of semen into the vagina of the female reproductive tract, and this process is called insemination. As we have discussed already, it is called insemination, that is the release of semen into the vagina of the female reproductive tract. Now this 3 to 3.5 milliliter of semen carry 200 to 300 million sperms in it. So out of these, and when these sperms enters into the female reproductive tract, they have to face some you can say challenges, कि उनको बहुत सी चीज़ों को फेस करना पड़ता है जो उनको क्रॉस करके ओवम तक पहुंचने में हेल्प करती हैं, बट स्टिल दैट इज़ वाई देयर नंबर इज़ सो मच, कि इतने ज़्यादा स्पर्म्स क्यों रिलीज होते हैं, बिकॉज मैनी ऑफ द स्पर्म्स व्हेन दे विल क्रॉस द फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ट्रैक, many of the sperms from this will be die. That is why the sperm number is very much, so that only because only one sperm will ultimately fuse with the one ovum, but when they will reach the ovum, many of the sperms die in the meanwhile. That is why their number is so much. Okay, so when the semen carrying sperms, that is around 200 to 300 million sperms, enter into the female reproductive tract, the environment in the female reproductive tract will try to kill the sperms. Okay, so will try to kill the sperms. So these sperms are killed because of the internal environment, because of the acidic pH inside. Sometimes the pH is not favorable, sometimes the movement of the sperms with the help of their tail is not the conditions are not favorable. So these conditions will cause the killing of the sperms, and due to this, only out of 200 to 300 million sperms, only around 100 to 200 sperms will be able to reach the female reproductive tract where the actual fertilization takes place. So the site of fertilization is what? This ampulla portion of the fallopian tube. As we have already done that in the fallopian tube, ampulla portion is the portion where the actual fertilization or fusion will takes place. तो sperms को ampulla portion तक पहुँचने के लिए बहुत सारी environment को cross करना पड़ता है female reproductive tract की. That is why only 100 to 200 sperms will reach the site of fertilization, but only one will fuse with the ovum. So is it clear? This is the approach or arrival of sperm, the first step in fertilization. Next step is capacitation. Capacitation means activation of sperms in the female reproductive tract. As I told you, there are both type of environment in the female reproductive tract. One that will kill the sperms, and other that will help the sperm to do the that will help to activate the sperms so that they can easily move towards the ovum. It can include some specific pH or some movements like the contraction movements of the uterus, which will help the sperms to push towards the fallopian tube. And this activation of sperms, as well as some chemicals, are released in the female reproductive tract, which will remove any kind of the semen is there around the sperms, so everything will be removed over whatever things are present over the surface of sperm will be removed because of the chemicals released in the female reproductive tract, and this will cause the activation of sperms, means to make them ready to fuse with the ovum. And it is also done by the female reproductive tract, means female reproductive tract दोनों रोल प्ले कर रहा है कि एक तो वो स्पर्म्स को किल कर रहा है कुछ ऐसे ही पीएच और केमिकल्स को रिलीज़ करके, और दूसरी साइड पे वो स्पर्म्स को एक्टिवेट कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो दैट प्रोसेस ऑफ एक्टिवेशन ऑफ स्पर्म्स इज कॉल्ड कैपेसिएशन. ओके, so is it clear? Next step, capaciation. Now let's come to the next step, that is called acrosomal reaction. So as many of the sperms, they reach the ampulla portion of the fallopian tube, but only few sperms will reach to the ovum. After crossing the female reproductive tract, only few sperms, here you can see I have shown you ovum, which have been come into the female reproductive tract at the ovulation stage of menstruation cycle that we have discussed yesterday, and it is in the secondary oocyte stage. तो जैसे ही ओवम ओव्यूलेशन के बाद एम्प्यूला पोर्शन में पहुंच जाएगा, then sperms are already there in the ampulla portion, And one more important point, ovum can survive in the fallopian tube for 1 to 2 days. It can live there for 1 to 2 days. After that it will be dead. And sperms can be survive for 3 to 4 days in the female reproductive tract. After that the sperms will be dead. So when the fallopian tube carry sperms will get the secondary oocyte, then many of the sperms will try to fuse with the ovum, but only one sperm will undergo the reaction called acrosomal reaction, which will help the sperm to enter into the nucleus, so means to enter into the secondary oocyte. Okay, now let's see what is this reaction. Acrosomal reaction is what? As the sperm reaches the ampulla portion of the fallopian tube, the acrosome release enzymes to break the layers around the secondary oocyte. Now you just have to remember, we have done the structure of sperm as well as ovum. तो ovum में हमने क्या किया था कि यहाँ पे क्या था, there was the secondary oocyte in the center having nucleus and cytoplasm, and this was the layer which was present around, that was called zona pellucida, and the cells present around zona pellucida were called corona radiata. So do you remember the structure of ovum? कि उसमें एक सेंटर में सेकेंडरी oocyte था न्यूक्लियस और प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के साथ, उसके बाहर जोना पेलुसिडा थी और उसके बाहर कुछ सेल्स की लेयर थी, दैट वर कॉल्ड कोरोना रेडिएटा. नाउ आई हैव शोन हियर कि मैनी स्पर्म्स दे आर ट्राइंग टू एंटर इनटू द सेकेंडरी oocyte, बट only one will show acrosomal reaction. Acrosomal reaction means if you will see the structure of sperm, the head of the sperm has at its tip which is called acrosome. Do you remember the acrosome? तो उसका function क्या था acrosome का? The function of acrosome was to release some specific enzymes which will help to break the outer layers covering the ovum. तो acrosome कुछ ऐसे enzymes release करेगा, hydrolytic enzymes, जो कि कोरोना रेडिएटा और जोना पेलुसिडा को ब्रेक कर देंगे, क्योंकि अंदर उसके अंदर ही सेकेंडरी oocyte है जहाँ पे उनको फर्टिलाइज करना है. ठीक है, तो दिस रिएक्शन ऑफ रिलीजिंग ऑफ enzymes बाय acrosome टू ब्रेक ऑफ द कोरोना रेडिएटा एंड जोना पेलुसिडा इज कॉल्ड acrosomal reaction. Is it clear? This will cause the entry of sperm into the plasma membrane of secondary oocyte. तो क्या होगा कि जब ये सारे कोरोना रेडिएटा वगैरह हट जाएंगे, जोना पेलुसिडा हट जाएंगे, तो यहाँ पे क्या रह जाएगा? प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन ऑफ ओवम एंड द न्यूक्लियस. तो इससे क्या होगा? स्पर्म जो है वो प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन तक पहुँच जाएगा. अब उसको क्या करना है? जस्ट प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन में एंटर करना है, हेड पार्ट को ओनली, क्योंकि टेल और मिडल पीस जो पार्ट है वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाएगा. ओनली द हेड पार्ट विल बी रिमेनिंग, क्योंकि फंक्शन क्या था टेल का? उसको मूव करवाने में हेल्प करता था, और मिडल पीस जो है उसको एनर्जी प्रोवाइड कर रहा था, जो उसको मूव करने में हेल्प कर रहा था. बट नाउ द मेन फंक्शन इज ऑफ हेड पार्ट कैरिंग न्यूक्लियस विद इट. So now the sperm will enter into the plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte. Now let's see the next step, that is called cortical reaction. That is very much important point, because here you can see I have shown the detailed view of of the corona radiata of the ovum. So this is the cytoplasm of the ovum and this is the plasma membrane. Okay. Now this layer is the zona pellucida and the outer one is the corona radiata. So the sperm which have shown the cortical reaction has reaches to the corona radiata. Now by releasing the enzymes, the corona radiata has been destroyed. corona radiata को इसने ब्रेक कर दिया है. अब जोना पेलुसिडा को भी ब्रेक कर दिया है, दोनों इंजाइम्स को रिलीज करके. स्पेसिफिक इंजाइम्स होते हैं ये, जो कि कोरोना रेडिएटा इंजाइम्स होते हैं, और जोना पेलुसिडेज जो कि इनको ब्रेक करने में हेल्प करते हैं. So when this head part will try to enter into the plasma membrane, that time a very important reaction called cortical reaction will takes place. Now what is this cortical reaction? As the sperm enters into the, as the sperm will break the zona pellucida of the secondary of the ovum, at that time the zona pellucida will release some chemicals called cortical enzymes. तो ये enzymes जो है वो कौन रिलीज़ करेगा? जोना पेलुसिडा. ये enzymes क्या करते हैं? यहाँ पे एक बहुत ही थिक कवरिंग बना देते हैं. तो एक स्पर्म पहले से एंटर कर चुका है ओवम के अंदर, बट टू प्रिवेंट द पोलिस्पर्मी, पोलिस्पर्मी मीन्स एंट्री ऑफ मोर देन वन स्पर्म इन वन ओवम इज कॉल्ड पोलिस्पर्मी. So to prevent the entry of the second sperm into the ovum, This zona pellucida will release cortical enzymes which will form a hard covering around the ovum, which will prevent the entry of another sperm into the ovum. So this reaction is called cortical reaction, the reaction which prevents polyspermy. Is it clear? Now the next step will be karyogamy. Karyogamy means fusion of nuclei, means as the head part has entered, अब जो sperm था उसका head part enter कर चुका है, tail and everything will be discarded, and the head portion also, cytoplasm will not be there, only the nucleus will be there, and the secondary oocyte nucleus is already present. When these two fuse, they will form the 2n nucleus having the cytoplasm of only ovum. And in the meanwhile, when this process is happening, at this time when the sperm enters into the secondary oocyte or ovum, it will release MPF, that is metaphase promoting factor. As I told you, the ovum will remain in the secondary oocyte stage till fertilization, till fusion of male and female gamete. तो जैसे ही sperm enter करेगा secondary oocyte के अंदर, ये MPF रिलीज़ करेगा जो कि secondary oocyte को अपनी meiosis 2 को complete करने में help करेगा to form the actual ovum. ठीक है, क्लियर है कि जो सेकेंडरी oocyte स्टेज थी वो तो मेटाफेज पे स्टॉप हो जाती है. जैसे ही स्पर्म एंटर करता है वो MPF रिलीज़ करता है जो कि ओवम को अपने मियोसिस 2 को कंप्लीट करने में हेल्प करती है, सो दैट सेकेंडरी oocyte कैन बी कम्प्लीटली कन्वर्टेड इनटू ओवम, एंड द थर्ड पोलर बॉडी विल बी रिलीज्ड, दैट विल ऑल्सो बी डीजेनरेटेड. और जब ये एंटर करेगा तो यहाँ पे जो पोलर बॉडीज़ प्रेजेंट थी वो भी डीजेनरेट हो जाएंगी. सो इज़ इट क्लियर? These all are the steps involved in fertilization. If the question comes, you have to write these steps along with this diagram given in the NCERT book, as well as this diagram of that shows the entry of sperm into the ovum. With this, the fertilization topic is completed. So let's see the sex determination. So after fertilization, you know that the fusion of the sperm with the ovum takes place. But how we will find that which sperm has been fused with which ovum to find out the sex of the baby of the next generation. So let's see here, this is the parental generation, mother and father. You know that 46 chromosomes are there in human body. Out of these 44 are autosomes and 2 are sex chromosomes. And in mother both the sex chromosomes are same, XX, and in father one are different, X and Y. Let's see the gametes formed. So gametes will be formed by dividing all the chromosomes, that is 23 chromosomes will go in each gamete. So two types of ovum will be formed which is having same chromosomes, 22 plus X and 22 plus X, both the ovum having same chromosomes. But in case of male or father, two types of sperms will be formed, 22 plus X and 22 plus Y. Clear? So both the ovum are of same type, but the sperms can be of different type. Now let's see the possibilities of fusion. This ovum fused with this sperm will form 44 plus XX. This ovum fused with this sperm will form 44 plus XY. This ovum fused with this sperm will form 44 plus XY, and this ovum fused with this sperm will form 44 plus XX. So let's see the genotype of the this is the genotype. Let's see the phenotype. So this will form the female child, this will form the male child as it has XY chromosomes, this will form the female child, and this will form the male child. And so let's see the ratio between the chances of having the female child or the male child. So it is 1:1, means 50-50% chances will be there. Either the next generation will be a female child or a male child. It means that who is responsible for giving the birth to a male child? That is father, because it has which chromosome? Y, which should be there for the male child. So in our society, like females are blamed that they are giving birth to the female child. Female feticide is very common. But we should not blame mothers for giving birth to a female child. It totally depends upon the type of sperm provided by the father. Okay. So it should you should be aware of this thing, and you should make others aware of this thing, that female or mother is not responsible for giving birth to a female child. It is totally dependent on the male child, the type of the father, the type of sperm fuses with the female. So this is all about sex determination. Next we will take up the next step in reproduction.